I have downloaded an ISO file from torrents because Windows XP ISO file or you mean the software copy of the CD is not available in MSDN or Microsoft site now because the support is stopped from a long time. And by the time I am recording this video, they have removed support for Windows 7 also. So I downloaded this ISO file from torrents and this is the site where I got that, and I have downloaded the fourth file. This is the magnetic link, you can see it down, and I downloaded this ISO file. So now hold shift and right click on this, you will have this copy as path option. Now click on machine, new, type something like WinXP, and you have 64-bit Windows XP, but this image is 32-bit only, so I am selecting 32-bit. Let's keep RAM as some 2 GB RAM. Create a new hard disk, and VDI VirtualBox is format is fine. Dynamically allocated, so that it won't allocate the complete space now. Let's keep some 45 GB for testing. 10 GB is also enough for Windows XP. Go to settings, storage, Windows XP. Now click on this and choose a disk file and pasted that copy as path. Now click OK. Now when I start that, in the dropdown select the ISO file which is selected and click on start. It's loading now. Now it came to the partition space. If you see the three different radio buttons here, I mean the points, bullet points, if I press enter, it will automatically use the complete unpartitioned space for the C drive OS. And if you want to create a partition, click on C. If you want to delete a partition, click on D. Now click on C, enter the space. So instead of complete space, I am using 25,000 for C drive. Now the remaining space you can leave it or you can create a new partition here. Just I am leaving now, or let's say let me create that. Remaining space it is created, 8 MB it get for unpartitioned space. Ignore that. And if you see mostly it is used for boot purpose. If you see after C it created E, it didn't create D because D is allocated to the CD-ROM through which I am booting. Now select the partition on which you want to create OS. I am selecting C and clicking enter. You see here NTFS and FAT is there. FAT is the old format. You can select NTFS and it tries to format that hard disk again. So let's do it quick. NTFS quick. I am using an SSD hard disk, so it will be a bit fast compared to your hard disk. Now the partitioning is completed and it is checking the state of C drive and it is copying all the setup files to the C drive now. Now second time don't boot from the CD, because if you try to boot from the CD, press enter, it will start the installation from scratch again. Ignore that and it will try to boot from Windows XP, the partially installed system, so that the remaining installation will continue. Now it is installing the Windows. If you see in the left side, so far three stages are completed. Now the installation phase is showing, and it is showing us 39 minutes here, but it won't take that much time. And you see the more detailed information down. It is installing devices. Unlike Windows 7 and Windows 10, where you have all the pre-configured network drives and everything, drivers, everything installed, Windows XP you don't have that. If you are installing on a direct laptop, you need to fetch those drivers also. But I am installing on a VM in a VirtualBox, so I don't need the drivers in this one. VirtualBox will take care. Now it came to the input screens. Here you provide your name and your organizations. Name test Windows XP or something, whichever you want. If you want to set any administrator password, set here, or else it will be created empty. This is the main administrator account. You can select the time zone. I am keeping Indian time zone. Click next. See, if you are installing this ISO file by beating it to an USB and installing on a physical machine directly, then you need to install the specific hardware drivers like audio and network and all, provided by that specific laptop or desktop vendor. From Windows 7 you don't need, but Windows XP you need to install these drivers. As I am installing on a VirtualBox VM, I don't need. VirtualBox will take care of that. You see it's almost complete. It is installing start menu items now. It's almost done. So it's done now and it restarted again. Just click OK so that it will set the screen size. Initial screens. I don't need any updates now. Anyway, Microsoft is not going to provide. Skip this. No, I'm not registering that. And other than administrator, if you want to create any account, let me keep admin user. Click next. Finish. Got logged in. If you go to control panel, user accounts and settings, you see administrator is there and guest is off. But in the logon screen, you can see only admin user is available. Because go to lusr mgr.msc. If you see, go to the users, properties, account is not disabled, still we can log into that, but it is not available in this login screen. I will show you how to enable that in the next video. And click on this my computer properties. You see the information and all. So this is Windows XP. To get the admin account access is in the logon screen, type Ctrl+Delete multiple times. If you try Ctrl+Delete on this machine, the machine gets lost. For the VM, go to input keyboard, insert Ctrl+Delete one time, input keyboard, insert Ctrl+Delete second time. It will bring the classic logon screen. From here you can log into original administrator. I didn't set any password, so that's why it logged in directly. Now go to log off. Only from classic window I can log in. If I want to keep this in this main screen window also, just log into the administrator account and open Regedit. HKLM software, Microsoft, Windows NT current version, WinLogon. Just make it a full screen. And click on this special accounts. User list. And let me keep a keyword, administrator, and keep value 1. Just you can shut down from here also, turn off and click on restart. Don't boot from that side, don't press any key. You see now administrator came here also. You can switch any of this and And coming to the remote desktop, got an IP. Click on properties, remote. Just click on this, allow remote users. Just it's simple, so that you can directly log in with the MSTSC and RDP to that one. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any doubts or if any inputs required, or if you want to make any particular concept to explain, you can comment, you can add a comment, I will explain that. Bye.